This is Your Choice, Your Freedom with Ron Green. Experience true Texas opinions from a man who's sick of arguing and ready to offer solutions to real issues across America.
Don't touch that dial. It's time for the Ron Green Show. That would be me. Brought to you by YourChoiceYourFreedom.com. Please go to my website. Please go to my website. Okay. Now then, before we get into this, I want to introduce our guest. We have David Bryan and Butch Lord, and I'm going to let each one of those folks tell you what they want you to know about them so that they don't beat me up for telling you something they didn't want you to know. So we're going to start with David.
All right. I'm David Bryan. I'm a serial entrepreneur. My wife thinks I'm mainly just a nutcase most days. But anyway, my main thing these days is I own Flight on Eagle Mountain Lake Restaurant. So just having a ball out there among many other things. Is the food
good?
I wouldn't tell you anything different.
There you go. My kind of entrepreneur.
There you go.
It's the best in town,
The
right?
best on Eagle Mountain Lake. That's what I'll say.
Cool.
Good time. Have a good time there.
Excellent. And Butch?
And I'm Butch Lord, and I'm a comedian. I've been doing comedy for 26 years. I tour with Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong, and I now work at Hyenas developing local talent. Huh?
Are you finding any local talent?
Oh, man, this talent pool is so deep. It's
How come you haven't called me?
Because I got so many calls coming in. You have to come to me. You have to come to me.
Oh, I see how it is.
You got to meet us halfway.
So I got to take a damn number?
No, you just got to come out to the open mics. We have the open mics, and once you show up there, I got you.
You know how scared I am. No, I couldn't do that. People start throwing shit at me. All right, and now I want to point out that on yesterday's show, I got beat up badly, so I want to make sure that we have a first aid kit on the premises and that the young whippersnappers back there in the back know how to dial 911. I know they know how to text, but I'm not sure they know what the phone part means in cell phone because I've never seen any of them talking on the
You're getting me
thing.
scared now, Ron.
I'm telling you.
All right.
Anyway,
these are gloves off in here.
So I was beaten up by a girl, Jamie Knight, co-host of Brian Blue, and Butch Lord. I don't know how he got back on the show after treating me so badly yesterday. But if y'all haven't seen it, go to YouTube and check it out. Once again, that's the Ron Green Show. Don't type in Ron Green because I'm way down in the back. So anyway, just so you know. All right, now let's get down to business. And be nice today.
Absolutely.
Okay. Remember whose show it is. Okay. Ron Green. Okay. All right. Let's I brought my reading glasses today, so maybe I'll do better. What we're going to talk about is it has been brought up, and I'm not sure who brought it up, but I'm just going to pretend that it was a liberal. Suggested that we have a test before you can vote to make sure that you are current on the topics and that you're not just a brainwashed zombie or a member of the Walking Dead, something like that. So now then, we're going to have some fun with this, but really? I mean, if we had that kind of test, I'd be the only one that could vote. You know? So, anyway, I'm gonna let David start out with this.
Sure. Well, I was actually reading today, whenever we were talking about coming onto the show, there actually is a survey out there of if people believe that you should take a test to be able to have the right to vote, but be able to vote. And the majority of the people actually said yes, that you should have to take a test. And that came from both conservatives and liberals. Crazy. It's crazy. It was something like 78 to 22% were saying, no, you shouldn't have to take a test. Hopefully people understand that that's not legal to force people to take a test to vote.
No, it's totally unconstitutional. We settled all of that back in the 1960s.
Way long ago.
About the time he was, talking it up with
Tommy Chong. But the whole thing, in the way I feel, you have a right, yes, but with that right comes a responsibility. And put it into perspective. If you've got a right to do something and you just go out and use that right for whatever you feel, you could hurt a lot of people. You could change the lives, change your entire family, or change someone's family. You can make someone think something differently about that right. Now, am I talking about the right to vote, or am I talking about the right to own a firearm? Because it's the same way. You've got the right to do both, but you've also got the responsibility to learn how to use it.
Well, as far as guns go, I grew up with guns.
Yeah,
I got
me
my
too.
first
Me
BB
too.
gun at 8 years old.
Me too.
Okay, and then I got my first .22 rifle at 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to prove to my folks that I could handle the BB gun before I got the .22 and on up.
Exactly.
But voting's a little different deal. I mean, because the truth is, from way back in the beginning, well, for one thing, way back in the beginning, information was hard to come by. You voted on the guy based on one whistle stop in your town, if you were lucky to get that. And then you voted on him based on what you read in the paper.
In the newspaper. Yep.
Okay, so the public's always been ill-informed. Now then, we have way too much information. And it is difficult to sift through what is true and what is not. I would just say that if it's coming from a right side of the issue, it's probably true. And if it's coming from the left side of the issue, you need to do a lot of research. Okay? Okay, on that note, I'm going to let Butch have a shot.
Of course, there's no chance you could have a test for that because it's a right, and it's not like other rights. I get that there's a responsibility with certain rights like gun ownership and stuff.
Right.
There's no responsibility with the right to vote except to go vote. I think that's the responsibility. Everybody should go vote, take advantage of the
I don't know
opportunity
if
to
that's
vote.
true or not. But anyway.
I'm saying the only responsibility you can only be as informed as you can be, and everybody thinks they're informed. And, there's just so many misinformed people. That's why we have, the situation we have now.
Exactly. The people on the right were well informed about well, I'm not supposed to call Hillary a bitch anymore. But the people were well informed about Hillary Clinton, and that is why, hey, Hillary, are you listening? You lost the election because you're a douchebag. Hello.
Dang.
Oh, my goodness.
I got to say.
All right.
Other than that, no, but we can't have a test, and I'll tell you why. Because everybody says we should have a test, but the people on the right are saying we should have a test so we can keep the people on the left from voting, and the people on the left are saying, yeah, we should have a test so we can keep the people from the right from voting. See, the left figures all the people in between the East and West Coast should not be voting at all. And all the people in the middle go, well, the people on the East and West Coast should not be voting at all. Okay, so how informed can you be? That's up to you. But I'll tell you my test for every politician, and that is, does he strike me as a used car salesman? Because I know everything he says on the campaign trail. He's one person, and even if he's sincere about getting it done, he's not a dictator. He's not going to be able to waltz in there and just keep those promises the minute he hits the chair, so that's my thing. So what do you think, David?
I was a politician. Actually, it was.
I'm sorry. I'm glad to see you recovered.
One of the greatest times of my life. I was actually.
Really?
I was deputy mayor over in Rowlett for a few years.
Oh, nice.
And the thing that I tried to do was tell people what I wanted to do, not what I was going to do or what I could do, because people don't realize you can say everything that you think people want to hear.
Right.
And you're more than likely going to get elected if you can get the majority of the people to believe you that you are going to do something.
You're not a used car salesman, that you're sincere.
Yeah.
Right.
And
no offense to used car salesmen, by the way.
I was a car salesman for 30 days also. Didn't like that at all. Anyway, the problem is if you tell people what you want to do, you don't come across as being capable.
Right.
You're not as bold.
Right.
If you say that you're going to do it, people believe in you and they follow you without knowing that you can't.
No,
Right.
not by
I'm going to
yourself.
lower your taxes.
Right.
I'm going to make everything free. I'm going to do this for you. Can't do it.
No.
You
It's
just can't,
impossible.
especially as one person. People don't realize the president does not have as much power
As
as
they
they-
think
as they
he
think.
does. Yes.
But it's funny when you said that, you looked for them not to be a used car salesman, and that dude in the office seriously
Oh,
is the
please.
biggest used
Oh,
car
please.
salesman
Oh,
we've
please.
ever had.
You know
don't
what?
you think? You really don't think so? You really think he's
okay.
not full of it?
Let me say this one more time. So, Butch, are you listening,
I just
Butch?
had to ask.
Okay. I voted for Trump because, A, he was not a professional politician, and he wasn't smart enough not to say a lot of stupid things. Number two, sorry, Mr. Trump. Number two, the Supreme Court. Number three, the economy, stupid. All I really care about at the end of the day is that you don't take my guns, you don't make me do stuff I don't want to do, and that I can make a decent living.
Can I just, on that point, ask you one question, right?
Sure.
Because you said you wanted a guy who's not going to be a used car salesman, but a used car salesman would tell you something you'd want. Used car salesman.
You got 30
We'll
seconds.
do it after the
Butch.
break.
No.
We'll do it after the break.
Okay.
After the
okay.
break.
We got 30
Because
seconds.
I got to hit you with it.
Can anybody count down from 30 to 1?
Heck no.
No,
But you
how
gotta,
about you?
You got to answer.
10, 9. Oh, no. I see, but 10's as high as I can go. I only got 10 fingers.
I think what we're going to have to do is
No, go ahead.
we're going to have a discussion
You're
on
listening to Your
civics
Choice,
whenever
Your
we come
Freedom
back.
with Ron Green. Go grab another can of Dr. Pepper. We'll be right back. And we're back, folks. This is Your Choice, Your Freedom with Ron Green, finding solutions to America's problems.
I want to thank everybody out there for hanging around, especially David and Butch.
Heck yeah.
And we're going to
Finish that thought.
as much as it could be, hazardous to my health, we're going to let Butch finish his thought.
I just have to ask because I have yet to talk to a Trump voter about this issue.
Okay.
Where, because you guys were really adamantly against Hillary because she was in the pocket of Goldman Sachs and such. And the very first thing that Trump did is put 5 Goldman Sachs presidents.
That's what
in.
I'm talking about. He's a smart guy.
How is that possible? Can you say the two things at once? How do you say that? How do you say that?
Okay, first of all, I could care less about Hillary being in the pocket of Goldman Sachs.
But Trump
every
is.
politician on both sides of the aisle in Washington, D.C. is in the pocket of Goldman Sachs.
And that's one of the problems, though.
That's well, I'll give you that. But you know what? People keep, you know what? I hate.
So you guys
I
not-
hate the congressman that the guy in the other district voted for, but for some reason they love the congressman in the district they're in, so they keep sending the same a-hole back to Congress each and every time, wondering why they're not getting different results. We need to elect businessmen or problem solvers to every single.
But Ron, did you not just hear what we said? He did the same thing. He put those same guys in.
Right, he put those same guys in because they obviously know what they're doing when it comes to money.
For themselves, like that guy
Oh my
Mnuchin
God.
made money on the.
Oh my God, David, are you going to take this shit? You're an entrepreneur.
He made money creating the bubble and then made money when it collapsed.
Can you be quiet, David? David,
That is smart. It is smart, though. Whenever you're
part?
able to make money to create a bubble and make money when it collapses, the average man, you and I, we would all love to be able to do that, right?
No,
You wouldn't like to
Oh,
be able to make
please.
money?
Well, no. I think that's dishonest and it's bullshit. And I honestly wouldn't do that. That's bullshit. They know what they're doing.
They're
when they
doing
do
it on
that.
a much grander scale because they
Yeah,
have
but
the
it's-
control
but
of
it
all
makes-
the stocks.
right.
They've got the control of the stock market. Personally,
And you
I mean,
think it's
I'm
okay?
gonna,
You think it's ethically okay?
No. I really don't. I really
Hey,
don't. Honestly, I
it's-
don't.
That's all
You
we're
know
getting
what?
at. That's all I'm.
But as
This
just the
isn't
average
an
man,
ethics class.
if I could follow a stock all the way up and know when it was going to go down, I'd follow it down to make money as well.
Sure.
But the problem is that they are in control.
Well,
the number
they know
markets.
when it's
Yeah.
going to go down because they moved the stock. If you've got enough money, you can move the
Correct.
stock. It's
Right.
just, if you've got $5 million, you can move, and you're a day trader, you can move.
It
that
takes more
market.
than that.
Well,
But-
I mean, you'll get it started.
Yeah.
If you dump or buy a lot, the algorithms go, oh, there's a big increase or a big decrease,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
that's
Depending on what the
depending on what
the stock
on a
is,
daily
yeah.
basis, yeah. But my thing is this: I want somebody there that gets money and gets the economy. And those guys, you can say what you want to, but they didn't create the bubble. The politicians created the bubble. They wanted everybody in America to be able to own their own home, or actually think they could own their own home, because if you can't afford to pay for it, you're sooner or later going to get kicked out of it. It ain't yours until it's paid for. I just bought a house. I don't say it's my house. I say, well, I do say it's my house. But the point is, I know it ain't my house until that last payment's
That's
made.
true. That's true. I would actually love it if entrepreneurs and business people would be the ones that would run for office, Congress, Senate, anything, because the majority of what has been is lawyers.
Lawyers,
Those that
and
know the legal
professional
system, and
politicians.
and politicians. Those have
They're
been-
trained to say the right things at the right time. They do all this poll testing. They figure out what buttons they need to push. They get you emotionally charged, and you're thinking with your emotions and not your head. I want problem solvers. And see, that's what Goldman Sachs do. They've got all that money because they know how to deal with the problems on a huge scale.
Many times, those that are already extremely wealthy are the ones that get wealthier.
Right.
That
Well,
does leave a bad taste in my mouth.
Why?
But well, I mean, it is good to make money. Money, they say, makes the world go round. But even at that, I mean, if as a small businessman, those that are willing to watch something that they build to grow, and to grow in income and grow and prosper and help other people to make money as well, because you're hiring those as employees and inspiring them to go and do the same thing. That's what I think that we need to have in a public office official.
Well, the more seed you can plant, the bigger your crop's going to be.
This is
And that's
true.
exactly why they make more money. They don't eat their seed.
Do you know-
the difference between them and most people is, especially if they start from ground zero.
Correct. They replant
ground
those
zero,
seeds. That's
they
correct.
don't go out and buy a house. They don't go out and buy a car. They don't go out honky tonking every Friday and Saturday
That's
night.
exactly right.
They
That's right.
replant the seed. They tell
That's
the
right.
old lady, nope, those shoes you bought 2 years ago are still got leather on the bottom. You ain't getting no new shoes.
You know what I want in a politician?
What do you want?
Honesty.
Oh yeah.
And we just
No
don't
doubt.
get that, dude. We just don't get it. They're all full of shit.
They are, and they're going to continue to be full of shit until we stop voting for them. The problem is the politician. We have a two-party system,
Which is terrible.
which is absolutely terrible. And I don't belong to any party. I lean more towards the Libertarians, but there's that 10% I don't agree with them on, so I'm not joining their party. I'm not going to do what's best for the party. I want to do what I honestly feel is best for me and my family. And if it's good for me and my family, I'm willing to bet that it's going to be good for you and your family too. Because in spite of what you like to believe, those fat cats that you and Bernie are always picking at and throwing rocks at, those guys are an absolute necessity to keep this economy
No
going.
doubt. We need big business. We need small business.
We need major, and we need Main Street, and we need
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Yes, we do.
Well, either one of them goes off the rails, and the economy tanks.
That's exactly right.
True.
Exactly.
The
right.
economy tanks. So until we figure out a way to take money out of the equation, which I did that in my second show, and nobody likes it because it totally changes the system and yada yada yada. But until we take money out of the equation, that's what we're going to get. And I'll tell you something else. Throwing rocks at a guy with a whole lot of money and then telling him you want more money so you can get free college really doesn't work too well. You might want to try saying, hey, you know what? You got all this dough. Can you sit down and help us figure out how we can get college down to a level where we either can afford it or we can go for free? Instead of going, hey, shithead, you got a ton of fucking money, and I want some of it because you need to pay for my college just because you got so much damn money. Because when you put it to me like that, you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, those cats don't really give a damn, though. That's the truth. They
Oh,
don't.
man, that's so much bullshit.
It makes you
How
wonder
many
what.
of them do you know personally? I'm just curious. How many of them do you know personally?
I'm asking, do you think that they really care about, let's take education. You brought it up. Do they really care about education? That chica who took over the education? You really think she's a good appointee?
Yeah, I do. I do think she's a good appointee. You know why? Because
Why's
she's
that?
going to bust the teachers union. And the teachers union is what's wrong with our educational system. It's not about the child anymore. It's about what the teachers union wants.
It's about tenure many times.
Exactly.
tenure.
It's
Yep.
exactly what it's about. And she's about the money following the kid. And that's what I'm about. Now, then, we're almost at the end of segment 2, I'm sure. So we're going to do what we were supposed to do at the end of segment 3 instead. But anyway,
I love it. We're good. We're
yeah,
good.
we're perfect. So my point is this: instead of beating these guys up, I've spent my whole, my business absolutely depends on the guys at the top of the food chain.
Right.
I would not eat without those guys,
Right.
and I'll be the first to admit it. I mean, poor people do not own office buildings. They do not own high-rise hotels, okay? I'm not going to – nope. When I first started out, no poor person ever hired me to paint their house. I'm just
Right.
saying that it don't
Right.
happen, So you can't continually beat these people up at the same – if you go to them and say, hey, let's solve the problem, they will be more than willing to help you solve the problem. Now, I know a lot of these personally. I don't get invited to their shindigs and stuff, but I interact with them enough to know they're not the bad people you would like to believe they are. They're smart, intelligent people who know how to work the system. Instead of bitching, you got two choices. You can change the system or learn to work the system,
Simon.
right?
That's true. That is true. I'm telling you, whenever I was in office, it was a matter of everybody wanted, let's get David to run. Not everybody. Many people wanted David to run because he's an honest guy and he's telling you what he thinks he's going to be able to try to do, not a matter of what you want to hear. Once you get voted in, all of a sudden you get a lot of people that really don't like you anymore.
Yeah, because
So how do you get good people to run? Because they know that people aren't going to like them and it could destroy their business.
And that's why Trump broke the mold. See, that's the best thing about Trump winning. Is for once we now have a person, whether you like him or dislike him, he's not following some cookie cutter
That's true.
program.
That's true.
Okay?
Would it have been the same? The first person I voted for was Ross Perot. What if we would have elected Ross Perot back then? Would it have been more of a business sense?
Yes, it would have, but the country wasn't ready for that yet. And not only that, Ross Perot shit his pants right at the very end. I mean, he just really did.
Yeah.
He
wasn't a politician either.
No, and like I said, the country wasn't ready for that yet. And they're ready for it now. They're fed up with both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and both parties are so fractioned now that without a supermajority, they cannot govern. The only reason the Democrats got everything they wanted the first term of President Obama is because they had a supermajority.
I believe Ross Perot really wanted to help, though, whereas I don't feel that with Trump. I really don't.
Yeah. Ross Perot is a giver.
Yeah, he really wanted to help.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're down to just a few seconds again, so I would like to take this opportunity to tell you to ignore Butch and listen to Ron, okay?
You're listening to Your Choice, Your Freedom with Ron Green. Go grab another can of Dr. Pepper. We'll be right back. Hey, Your Choice, Your Freedom with Ron Green is back. What are we fixing today, Ron?
We're going to fix the idiots that vote. Okay, that's what we're going to fix. The director was nice enough to provide some quiz sheets to see if the three of us are actually smart enough to vote. And
And these are these the citizens test? Is that what these are? Kind
yeah,
of the
they
citizens test.
if
If
you're
you're going to be going
well,
for your citizenship, this
yeah,
is the test you take.
By the way, did you bring your birth certificate? I'm kind of curious. No, I'm kidding.
I can follow my roots only I can't even follow my roots out of the trailer park. I just know Grandma lives down on the
Okay,
end.
so you're the white trash Bill
Yes.
Clinton was talking about.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm that.
and Hillary. Yeah, you forgot about that part,
I'm
didn't
poor
you?
white trash.
Excellent. Your poor white trash. Never mind. Let's don't go there. Okay. I want to thank you folks for coming back first, and I want to thank David, Brian for coming back, and Butch Lord for coming back. Just, anyway, enough said about that. He might want to come. I might want him to come back again sometime. So we're going to do the quiz, and we're going to start with David because he's on my left, and I've been told I need to move more to the left.
I think, why don't we make it a contest? We'll buzz in with who's got the answer.
Well, the thing is, we each have different sheets. And
No. When one of us, whoever's
Whoever's
asking the
asking,
question,
the
the
other
other two have to.
Okay,
makes the
yeah,
answer.
that's fine.
Done.
Just tap on the table.
Otherwise, one of us will look really stupid sometime.
Right.
Yeah, well, that will be your host probably. But anyway, we'll save that until we find out for sure. So start us off. What's your question?
All right. Let's see. This is a question that comes up quite often. Or people say it incorrectly whenever we talk about what is the economic system in the United States.
Capitalism.
Whoa. Yeah, that was really loud there. Yes.
Capitalism.
Very good. Capitalist
Capitalism.
economy and market economy. Excellent. I mean, people talk
Okay,
about...
I get to vote. So you. Okay, go ahead. Another one.
All
Go ahead,
right.
hit us.
Another one. Let's see. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? What do we call that?
Checks and balances.
There you go.
Simon.
Excellent.
Simon.
Excellent.
Okay, fine. You can vote in dog catcher races only. Okay, one more, and then we're
One
going to let
more
Butch have a
question.
shot.
Let's see. How old do you have to be to vote for president?
18.
There you go.
There you go.
And
Excellent.
that's way too young, by the way. I didn't know shit at 18. I didn't know shit at 35. I didn't know shit. Well,
You can be 30. How does it? 35 to run for president, right?
You have to be 35 to run. You have to be at least that old, right?
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So you should have to be that old to vote, too. Okay.
Right.
All right, Butch.
All right. So I got a couple of easy ones. Who wrote the Declaration of the Independence? Declaration of Independence. Go ahead.
Ron Green. Was that not right?
No, I didn't say who rewrote.
Oh.
Wasn't it a few people? Thomas Jefferson originally, but
Thomas
then there were
Jefferson.
several rewrites.
Actually,
so
Thomas-
lots of
Thomas
other
Jefferson
folks
wrote
Yeah.
it, but yeah,
Yeah, okay.
there were rewrites, but they only put down.
Okay, so I missed one. Big deal. Go ahead.
No, that's too easy. I'm sorry.
We might need
Where's the
easy.
Statue of Liberty?
Where or what?
Where?
Where is the Statue of Liberty?
It's in the harbor over there in New York, right?
Yeah, but there's a specific.
No, New York.
Is that all
Yeah,
it says?
you can.
New York
Well, it has
Harbor?
New York
okay,
Harbor.
there's an island.
Liberty
and-
Island?
Liberty
Liberty
Island.
Island.
Okay, all right, fine. But okay, fine. So I missed two.
Which
Big
is-
deal.
Which I thought it was Ellis Island. No.
Ellis Island was where people came and signed
Right,
in.
that's
actually.
where
Right
you
next
signed
from
in.
other
And
countries.
that's-
It's the island right next to it,
Yeah,
right.
that's where we decided whether we were going to let you in or not. And you and I would not have gotten in,
No,
just so you know. Okay.
No.
All right, one more.
And the other one is, oh my, name your U.S. representative.
Which one? House, Senate, Congress?
Yours, U.S. representative, which would be a congressman.
Yeah, I can't. I just moved, so.
Who we have over here? We have K. Bailey Hutchison.
Bam, that's here. That's Houston. I mean Fort Worth. Yeah, nailed it. Nailed it.
No,
This cat
there's
is
more
informed.
than one for Fort Worth, isn't there?
Is there?
Because
That's
of the
the
way
one
the
for this
districts.
area. You got the
There are
Congress.
different districts. Yeah, if we're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
Congress, there's Fort Worth's got a big population.
And what
They're
with that?
different.
And what with that redrawing of the districts?
A lot of people don't know who their
It's a-
representative
it's-
is because they
it's
don't
like-
really know where they land in the map.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
They think they know who it is because they see him on TV all the time or at.
I cannot remember his name now. Oh,
Okay,
embarrassed.
Is
so
Cruz?
I'm
Is
embarrassed.
Cruz a
Ted
Texas?
Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
he's a senator,
Yeah.
but that would be Ted Cruz and the other dipshit that's been there since God was, creating Adam and Eve. What's his name?
I don't
And I know
any
he's a
Texas senators
Republican,
'cause
and
I'm
I
not
was-
from here.
I know
I
the
know
one
I'm
over
supposed
where
to
I
like
used to
him.
live was Sam Johnson, and then there's Ralph Hall over there as well. So it's,
Yeah, but
it's a matter of
senators,
trying to
there's
remember.
10
What,
there's-
was Ron
there's-
Paul ever your rep?
Ron Paul?
Isn't he from down there?
No, I was talking about over in Rowlett area.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you were
There's
still
Sam
talking about
Johnson and there was
down
Ralph.
in where you're from.
Oh,
like
no, I'm sorry.
in southern,
Yeah.
South
No, no, yeah.
Texas. Is that
Southeast Texas.
was that Ron
Yep.
Paul's district?
I am not sure. I haven't lived down there in years, though.
I think he was like the last honest politician, and I love him or hate him, the
Who?
dude really did. He really was honest.
Who, Ron Paul?
Yeah, he
Oh,
really
yeah.
was honest.
Oh, yeah.
He's there for the people.
I'm not nearly as impressed with Rand Paul.
Oh, no, he's an idiot.
Ron Paul.
Isn't
Ron
it funny how far the thing fell from the tree?
Well, I don't want to. We're not going to. It's a different show, but yeah, Rand Paul.
An idiot.
I'm not going to call him an idiot, but because that would put him in the same. Put him over on the left, and I don't want to do that. He's not that bad. But okay, it's my turn now. I've missed. Well, let's just say that I'm not getting my citizenship card. So I'm going to start this off, and I have a good one. What does the Constitution do?
Protects our rights.
That's one.
Establishes the union.
Okay, so you can vote in 1/3 of the elections.
I believe that was covered too. I think they ratified that though.
Okay, do y'all give up?
I do.
It sets up the government, defines the government, and protects basic rights of Americans. Okay, see, and I knew all
That
three
was
of those.
precise way of
This
putting
is
it.
like one of those things where it's a test and you've got to know the correct answer of a multiple choice kind of a thing, as opposed to just giving a blunt answer of who was the first president.
Right.
So, I mean,
right, yeah.
Come on now.
Right, if you can get any of the, okay, fine, you can vote in all the elections.
I
Are you
appreciate
happy
that.
now? All
I
right,
appreciate
fine. All right, let me find another one. What is one right of freedom from the First Amendment? This should be easy.
Freedom of speech. No?
That's one.
From the First Amendment?
The First Amendment gives several rights. What's
Oh.
one? Okay, he's already got the easy one, so.
Right to assemble?
Right, that's another one. It's interesting because nobody ever thinks about this one. They name the press,
The
assembly,
freedom of the press,
religion,
right?
petition the government. We have the right to
For
petition
redress of grievances.
for redress of grievances. Absolutely. Okay.
You could use that in a comedy show.
Right?
Oh, here, yeah, we could. So
That's
when you
how
go
I do.
next time
That's
you
how
go
I
to
petition.
next time you go to Hyenas,
You can
Butch
you can,
will Butch will have it nailed down.
you
Okay.
can petition Butchie for a redress of your grievances. And I got you.
There'll be paper in
Just
the
make
seats.
sure you buy him a drink first. Okay. All right. Now then, my last one is a good one because I don't think too many people really know this. How many amendments does the Constitution have?
21?
Close. But no, you can't vote anymore now.
28.
No, you can't vote anymore either.
Damn
Goodness.
27, I get to vote.
Oh,
Well,
man.
you got the answers in front of you.
Well, hey, they didn't say you couldn't cheat.
I think you did.
Okay, well.
That makes you a politician, by the way.
Okay, do y'all want to
pretty
keep doing this or do you want to talk about something?
Let's talk about something. I'm embarrassed enough.
I know,
Yeah, me
right?
too.
Let's go on to that. Let's go
Okay,
on to that thing. Let's go on
just
to
so
that
y'all
last
know,
topic.
if you elect me dictator for 6 months, I will fix all the problems this country has, and then in the 5th month, I will make myself dictator for life, so that the country doesn't wind back
And you've
up
got
in
a
the
used
shit.
Hyundai to sell me, huh?
Right?
No, I don't have a used Hyundai. I use Toyota.
Okay.
Listen, air to one. All right, look.
Alright.
All right.
Okay, so now let's what are we talking about again? Oh
Hey,
yeah,
Let's go to the how do people get so
Yeah.
misled?
yeah. How do people get so misled? For one thing, they listen to Butch.
Right?
Okay.
Media.
they-
media.
the
Media that is owned by those large
Corporations that Butch
corporations
hates.
that are supporters of whatever party that is in charge.
The problem with
that want to get
that's too simplified, and I'll tell you why. Because those people, though, they contribute as much as they can to both parties.
Mhm.
They're hedging their bets,
Mhm.
and a lot of people would be surprised to know that a lot of them also belong to different packs on both
Oh
sides.
yeah, no
So,
doubt, no doubt.
So I think that's too easy, but I definitely do believe the mainstream news media is the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party.
I would have to. It is obvious. I don't proclaim
Even
to
they
be
admit-
Republican or
even they
Democrat, but I
admit
mean, if you look at some of the things that were embarrassing to either President Obama or Hillary Clinton, it was put out in a totally different light than the things that are embarrassing to Trump.
If it was put out at
or
all.
President Trump.
If it was put out at all. It probably didn't make the nightly newscast. And if it made the paper, it was way back in the back.
Correct.
And then it was put in as flattering of light as they could possibly do it.
Most
whereas Bush or Donald Trump's, I've never seen a man get beat up so bad on a hourly basis.
Well, he does
Like-
put out the tweets. I could do without all the tweets.
I admit when you get into a slugfest,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
You've got to rise above a
you're-
lot of this whenever you're the one that's the leader of the free world
You
here.
can't be that guy and be the leader. You can't be that guy. You can't respond like a damn
I don't know how to
toddler.
explain this to you, but that guy is the leader.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, come back. Thanks, David. Thanks,
You're
Butch. We'll be
listening to
back.
Your choice, your freedom with Ron Green. Go grab another can of Dr. Pepper. We'll be right back. And we're back, folks. This is Your Choice, Your Freedom with Ron Green, finding solutions to America's problems.
Okay, thanks, David and Butch, for joining me. Thank y'all for continuing to join me. In this last segment, we're going to just stay on how do people get misled. And I'm going to put out there right from the get-go, yeah, we've got the press, okay? They do their thing. The politicians do their thing. But we get misled because we allow ourselves to become emotional about the issue instead of thinking about the issue in a rational way.
That is so true.
In other words, you're looking for something to support what you want to be true as opposed to what is true.
And I believe that that the big problem is that nobody researches everything. They're taking one opinion and one view, and that's everybody across the board, you know. And seriously, the Fox News only has one side of the issue too. And
Well,
and it's
Okay, okay, that's what I mean about fake news, folks. Fox News does not do only one side of the issue. They have their token left-wing people that come out and say what they are scripted to say, okay? So don't go down that. No, I don't know that to be true. I do know that there's Juan Williams and any number of liberals on Fox News on a regular basis expressing their point of view. So there you go.
The biggest thing is you've got to be able to not think that one source of media is the only. I mean,
Exactly.
ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, they're all reputable news sources. You can't just say that they're only leftists or they're only for the conservative side. I mean, I watch ABC in the morning. I watch Fox in the afternoon. In the evening, I watch CBS.
Okay, well, I don't watch ABC. I don't watch. Well, that's not exactly true.
They
I
are
know
frustrating.
I know this and I pointed this out when we did that deal on fake news. Is that when I had my first civics class and we had to read the newspaper every night, the main story, and write a short report on it. The first thing my dad told me was, there's a reason why they call it a news story. Okay, there's very little of it that is actually news. The rest of it is the story.
The journalist fluff many times.
Right, and that's going to be presented in the way that the person doing the story
Wants you to
feels
think
about
about
it.
it. Yep.
Exactly, and the what buttons he wants to push.
The dangerous part with this, and you know, I'm calling out all the news sources out there, Ron. Just so you know, I think they're all just as guilty of doing their little one-sided sort of slant,
Right.
sort of perspective, and that's across the board. Yep. What's the dangerous part is that there are so many people who don't understand that there are other views, other opinions, other points of view, you know, and they don't give the other points of view a chance, and they're given these things without their knowledge. That big corporation Sinclair that just bought out, like, I can't even tell you the number of stations they just bought out nationally, little ones. So your little local news, people are going to be getting these feeds, and they're putting them on all these stations that are like an opinion thing that comes off as fact. And these people are going to be misinformed because they're going to believe it, because you do believe your local news. You don't think your local news is fake. You don't think your local news has this agenda. And here they're going to start feeding it into them. And this is this big Sinclair group that is the Breitbart. And it's like, it's just not, that is just wrong on so many levels, and that people should be able to make an informed decision and should be able to give another side of it.
I think they should be able to make an informed decision too, but I also think it's their personal responsibility to vet.
True that.
To vet the news that they have. In other words, first of all, anything that is put out there, anonymous sources say, I discount it right then. If the person who's putting it out there can't say who they are, then how am I? If they can't stand behind what they're saying, right? How am I supposed to believe anything they're saying? Hell, I can say, breaking news: anonymous sources say that Butch didn't wear his underwear today. It doesn't mean it's true.
That?
Oh, well, I have a good anonymous source. No, but seriously, anybody can say anything if they say an anonymous source said it.
Yeah, well, you know that saying, whoever controls the information is the one that's in control, basically.
Right.
Correct.
So if you're spoon-feeding information, whether it's factual or not, or however that information is being slanted, you've got the people, especially whenever the majority of the larger stations do lean left. You gotta, I mean, that's completely understood. And then there's documents that prove of which stations lean more left and more right.
Right.
I mean, it's
my
admitted.
problem. Right.
So however it's slanted is going to be the way the majority of the people that listen to the news is going to believe.
Right. But unfortunately, the majority of the people don't watch the news at all.
That is true too.
See, I don't watch local news because I really, here's what the thing is. 5-car pileup on Interstate 5, mother of 3 killed. Okay, that's all I need to know. I really don't want you to go ask the mother, how do you feel about it? Well, how the fuck do you think she feels about it? She ain't happy, okay? Leave the poor lady alone. That's the reason I quit watching. I got tired of this
sensationalism.
No.
The objective facts is just give me the objective facts as opposed to all this.
Just give me the facts. So when there's something going on in the community that I really need to know about, in other words, like political issues or whatever, I go on the internet now because we have the internet, and I look there. Before I used to just skim the headlines, and if it was a story about politics, if I was going to have to vote on something, then I would try to get information. But here's the other thing: I know right away if you're for something I'm against. Okay, I know that right away. I don't have to fact check that. If you say, I think we need to appeal the right to carry law in Texas, I know I'm against that right away. So everything else you have to say doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter what the other guy has to say about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for the guy that I think can stop you from taking my right to carry away. So, and that's what happens in most elections. It's not who's actually the best for the president. It's not who do I really want to be president. It's who do I not want to be president?
Right. Or who feels the way I feel?
Yeah,
right,
they vote on a hot button
the hot
issue.
button issue. That's what they call it.
That's what it was. And in Trump's case, the thing that really got his momentum going was when he first announced he hit on illegal immigration, and he was not the least bit politically correct in the way he talked about it. And there were a lot of people that have been feeling that way for the last 20 years, and they go, finally, somebody's willing to just put it out there,
And I don't understand why that's such a hot button issue. If the first word that you say is illegal,
right?
Why is that a hot button?
Well, because he doesn't care if they're legal or not, probably. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. But he probably doesn't care if they're legal or not. They have a right to be here and, steal our food and water and resources.
Yeah. But you also understand why it was changed from illegal to undocumented,
Look at him. He's getting ready to hit me. I
think that I think, of course, I'm same way. I think we should invite immigrants here because this country was built on immigrants, and I think that there should be immigrants all the time. People should be able to come here.
Exactly.
And
we're all immigrants.
Right.
We're all
exactly.
Immigrants. We're not all illegal immigrants.
I'm not an immigrant. I was born here. My
Our
ancestors
ancestors,
were
correct.
immigrants, and mine came in shortly before the war between the states. And at that time, the immigration laws were different, if there were any laws at all. And I'm not
Right.
sure. There was a period where there were no laws; you could just come. The point is that at that time in our history, the country needed people to settle the land, and there was sufficient opportunity to go around so that there was something they weren't taking from the people. They were not going to be affecting adversely the people that were already here and
You know,
the people
we-
that were actually citizens. The times have changed. In case you hadn't noticed, we got cars and cell phones.
We have.
And we don't need them. We do not. We have.
We don't
plenty
need
of
what?
we don't need immigrants anymore. Not like we did. No, we don't. We don't need them. We let them in. We let them in out of the kindness of our heart. So if you want to come in,
You're talking. Are you talking about immigrants or refugees? Because we let refugees in out of the kindness. We let immigrants in because it's the way it goes.
No, if you apply for
citizenship.
citizenship, that's who I'm talking about. If you apply for citizenship, we really don't need you.
Well,
Okay, we're letting
so
you
you
in
think-
out of the kindness of our hearts. But if you break in, then we have a totally different outlook on it.
But look. Here's the deal. You know what? I got to tell you something. In this day and age, and I really believe it's really silly to do things like build a freaking wall. That's freaking ridiculous. First of all, it's silly, and it's funny that people got fired up over build that wall. I think it's ridiculous and silly, and I think that the truth of the matter is that's the biggest problem with humanity. We need to get over this. There's no more land. We found it all. There's it. We've got it all. It's all been discovered. We need to get along. We need to get
The polar
along.
ice caps are melting. There's all kinds of new land out there, just so you know.
We've drawn all the freaking lines we can draw. There are way more countries now than when I was in grade school. The map has about 100 more countries than it did when I was in grade school. We need to quit drawing these lines, and we need to quit dividing people. This whole planet, to survive, we need to quit it.
Okay.
I think the planet should be like the United States. I think the whole planet should be like the United States. We should be able to.
We can't even get along. Half the population wants one thing, half the population wants another. We can't get anything
But
done.
Texas
because
ain't bombing Oklahoma.
We might. You never know. No. I'm.
The planet should be like the States.
I'm serious.
That's the only good thing we have.
If we don't start paying attention to who we're voting for, if we don't quit voting for professional politicians, if we don't start voting for deal makers, we are going to have another violent civil war. And we're running out of time on this show. And if you're an ill-informed voter, get frigging informed. Okay. Thanks,
a wrap.
David. Thanks,
Thanks for
Butch.
tuning in.
Come
Hell
back
yeah.
next
Thank
time.
y'all.
Hell yeah. Thank you, guys.
We'd love
Thank
to hear
you. I
from you.
enjoyed that.
Join
That
the
was
movement
fun.
and voice your concerns. YourChoiceYourFreedom.com.